right, chaps. Good evening. It is good evening. I'm in the UK. Taylor's in Florida. Theo's also in the UK. We're all in different places pretty much, except for Theo, because there's a lot going on. But we're coming together for It's Called Soccer Today because there is a story, chaps, which... We've talked about this before on the podcast. I love a good story. I love a good story when, you know, there's a firing on air or something crazy happens or like something to get my teeth into. Saturday night, I leave the studio and an hour later, my phone blows up with the Mo Salah post-match interview. It was explosive, sensational. I'm sure everybody watching or listening to this has either read bits or heard bits about how he has accused the club of throwing him under the bus after 3 straight games in which he has been a substitute. That happened Saturday night. There was no comment from the club, unsurprisingly, on Sunday. I'm sure there were a lot of Zoom calls going on Sunday, but no public comment. And then today, Monday, of course, is press conference day ahead of Inter Milan away in the Champions League tomorrow. What we know is that Mo Salah will not be going to Italy. He is not going to be in the squad. And Arne Slot was asked about this, guys. And we're going to get to that in a second. And we're going to get to Jamie Carragher's comments, which have just come out at time of recording as well.
I still don't think it's the last of him, though. I really don't. I don't think it is.
He has no self-awareness of where he is within the Liverpool ecosystem at the moment.
He needs to focus on the players that actually care. And at the same time, Mo Salah doesn't care.
I will tell my grandkids the story of watching 3 best friends come together and get to write their own script.
Them winning MLS Cup with Messi could be the line in the sand they've been looking for a long time.
I said, David, what was the first thing you said to Lionel Messi when he signed? And he said, it's not what you think it is. It's not what everyone in Europe says it is.
Do Aston Villa have a place in this title race?
They've won 9 out of 10. They can do that again and again.
Taylor, when you saw it/read it, what did you think?
Disappointing. I just listen. You're talking about someone that's been in the United States and seen Liverpool at their best. I've lived in Boston for 25 years. I've seen what Fenway Sports Group has gone through with the Red Sox and everything. Mo Salah has been at the heart of all of that. And so, listen, I'm intrigued, Rebecca and Theo, and I'm going to get into it with you. But my first reaction was just disappointing because this is not the way it should end. Just shouldn't be. Now, we all have seen athletes. It doesn't end the way you want. 95% of the time, it just doesn't end the way you want it to. And especially when you think you're bigger than the game. And the greatest advice ever given to me was my grandfather, who played 19 years pro baseball, 11 in the majors. And he said, if you you think you're bigger than the game, then the game will bite you right in the ass. And it will remind you that the next person's coming in line and the next great player is going to come through. Theo, disappointing. Rebecca, disappointing, because it just feels to me this is not the way it should end, and it may end on a very sour note for Salah and Liverpool. It's a tough one for me.
And it may end very soon because Inter Milan is away, as I said, Tuesday. If you're listening to this, that game is happening away from home. Brighton is at home on Saturday. One of the things he said, Theo, was that he'd called his parents and he'd said, come to the Brighton game because I don't know whether I'm going to play or not, but I'm going to probably say goodbye to the Liverpool fans at the Brighton game before I then go to the African Cup of Nations, because I don't know, he said, what's going to happen when I'm at the African Cup of Nations. Was he itching to get the manager fired? Was he itching to get away from the club? Was he just simply, what was he doing, Theo? What caused this?
I mean, like T, I agree. I mean, I've been in situations when you've seen older players, and I've been part of that, where the younger players generally really do look up to you, and it's your behaviours away from the game. And what would worry me is what he's affecting behind the scenes with some of the teammates. And that's always a concern when you look at the performances as well. Is that a factor that Arne Slot's taken into account and seen? However, he would have just, now he's taken him out of the squad completely. I still feel this won't be the last of Mo Salah at Liverpool. However, I do agree with the fact that we look at memories of Zidane. The first memory that comes to me is Zidane, who's the best player in the world, is the headbutt. Like you said, and yeah, these are the memories we that stick with us. And it's one of those where he doesn't speak to the media too often. He really doesn't. However, playing against this man, he has a lot of time for people, a lot of time for fans, and it's surprising the way he's just, it's all about himself. And I get that. I understand what, a player of his stature, he's just hurt, isn't he? And he's just reacting the completely wrong way. This should have been behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, quite frankly, even if it was behind closed doors and he wants to speak to his boss, let's just, nip it in the butt there. He's the boss, Arne Slot. So it doesn't matter how the player or member of staff talks to them, it's talking to the boss. Essentially, he's the man in charge and you're just a pawn to his game, really. So for me, it was sad. However, I kind of feel it was coming. It really was. But look, it's. I still don't think it's the last of him, though. I really don't.
I'm surprised.
I don't think it is.
You think there's a way back from that?
I do. I always feel the best players will react in the best possible opportunity when they get an opportunity. Anyway, I really do. I do feel like there's something. I don't think it's him forcing a way out in this moment in time. I really don't. I do feel like as a player, he's just
would play him after that.
No,
not now. No, not at all. I just think when I think about him coming back, you need to react in the right way to be him considered again in the squad. I don't think he'd be in many squads for a while. Of course, he's got AFCON. I get that. However, look, Mo Salah goes there, does really well. Then maybe they win it. It's a different Mo Salah come back to Liverpool Football Club. I don't see him being sold in January.
Were you too surprised at the lack of self-awareness? Like, that is the most glaring part to this entire thing for me, is that he has no self-awareness of where he is within the Liverpool ecosystem at the moment. I'm not talking about historically, but quite frankly, it's not about what you did yesterday, and it's not about what we're going to do tomorrow. Right now in the present moment, that's what blew me away, Rebecca. It blew me away of the lack of self-awareness, because we've all, I don't care who you are in the game, other than Lionel Messi maybe, everyone's been in a rut. Everyone's been in a little bit of a slog where you got to roll your sleeves up, you got to dig in, and you got to grind yourself up. I am stunned at the lack of self-awareness. Truly. The quote that he said, I don't know why this is happening to me. Hang on a minute. The quote should have said, I don't know why this is happening to us, because then you buy in, everyone. That's where I am lost. And Rebecca, I'm going to answer your question. There's no way Slot can play him. None.
Ever again.
And as well, look, Taylor, you would have been in this position as well at times when fans come up to you and you want a reaction. They want to, nowadays, they get the film out, and as a player, you're careful. You're careful around everyone, and that's what you're saying there. Why was he not careful in the media, particularly? And you can be careful with the fans as well, because I've been in this position where fans might want a reaction of some sort. They really would, but as a player, you really ground and think, 1 minute, it doesn't benefit anyone but you. It was selfish, it really was, and I'm just not a big fan of players that talk to the media if they've not even been involved in the game, if we're just talking about an individual game.
Did you see, Theo, did you see what was so interesting at the end of the game? We got this on camera, was that obviously he was unused sub, as you say, wasn't used in the game. Yeah. At the end of the game, he went over to the away fans and he stood for like a minute waving and clapping the fans. Now, that shot didn't surface until after this interview. So now you look at that and you're like, oh, okay, so he was doing his goodbyes to the away fans, whether it's him dramatizing it or not, that's what he was definitely trying to put across, before he then went back in and said to the press guys, don't go anywhere, I'm coming to talk to you. As you say, I think he's spoken to them 4 times in 8 years. I want to get on in a second to what Jamie Carragher has said about him today. Arne Slot didn't say a lot. I mean, Arne Slot is very good at actually, to be fair to him, dealing with these sort of situations. He was asked whether or not his authority had been undermined. He said no. He said, is it his last game for Liverpool? He said, I have no clue. And then
I thought he was brilliant.
Did you?
I do. Go ahead, Rebecca. Finish.
No, just finally, he said, do you understand his frustrations, as in Salah's? And he said, well, I should know what he means and why he's had to make these comments. I mean, obviously, there's some things lost in translation because of his Dutch. Usually he says, I'm calm and polite, but it doesn't mean I'm weak. If a player has a command, it's for us to react, and you can see now that he's not here. It's quite difficult to not hear him say things and sort of put them into context, but he's done exceptionally well, Taylor, at dealing with a situation that was yesterday an absolute grenade in his club and not made it worse?
Yes, 100%. And us three have had many conversations about different players that escalate things in social media, come back. If I'm not mistaken, one of them was Charlotte. Remember in MLS with Wilfred Zaha, and you just escalate everything now. Everything's about the soundbite. I'm a firm believer, even though I've been in the media world for now 15 plus years, that our news cycle is less about 36 hours now. It's more about 7 hours, because constantly people responding on their phone immediately, you kind of change the tone. I think as the manager going into the game that they have midweek, it was brilliant. It was calculated. It was non-emotional. And I think he squashed it for them. Now, in saying that, I would be stunned if they don't play well, because I think Slot's response set the tone for how the team's going to react. I really do. Theo, I think if he's emotional with the response, I personally believe it falls in favor of Mo Salah. Does that make any sense?
Oh, completely, because then it just goes back to the story of Mo Salah. It's all about Mo Salah. He's deflected it completely, and he's focused on his team, because that's what a good manager does. And you always kind of get rid of the bad eggs, don't you, at some point? But look, I just feel Arne Slot, he's just put himself in a really difficult situation, Salah, though. He's put Arne Slot in, like, he's dealt with it absolutely perfect. Just shows the man he is going through when he's got to think about the whole squad, not just one individual as well. You forget about their day-to-day, every day. You've got to treat players
And he's got a lot of problems, by the way.
He's got a lot of problems. He's a manager who he understands they're not playing well. He knows this. And he has to treat every single player differently. You cannot treat every player in the same manner, I don't think, as a manager, if you're the best managers. And he's proved to be one of the best managers around. And he's just in a situation where he hasn't had to deal with anything like this before in his time, I believe. So he needs to focus on the players that actually care. And at this moment in time, Mo Salah doesn't care. That's the problem.
Rebecca, I really want the listeners to understand this, because I thought it was crazy 6 weeks ago when you asked Theo and I, should he bench him? Should he sit?
Yeah.
I really did. I honestly, like, when you asked me in the moment, there was a pit in my stomach going, well, hang on a minute. Am I missing something? And quite honestly, no, but you saw something. Now, whether you did or not, the reality is, I bet you if there was an off-the-record way to listen to the players, I bet you they probably would tell you this should have been done weeks ago. And I think Slot probably gave him the benefit of the doubt. But he hasn't been good. That's a fact. That's not really an opinion. You asked it 6-7 weeks ago. I was like, wow, are we jumping the gun here? And you were spot on, because look at this. It's come to a head because he 100% probably internally should have been benched.
Jamie Carragher has done a 9-minute answer pretty much on Sky today, talking about it being he was a disgrace. He called Mo Salah a disgrace. He said that he's tried to get the manager sacked by doing that. He said whenever he talks to the press, he does it to engineer maximum damage to the club and maximum protection for himself. Do you think, Theo, it's going to come to a point, if he doesn't leave in January, do you think he's going to have to apologise?
I think he would. I think he will have to at some point. I do. But can I just play devil's advocate slightly?
Yeah, that's the point of this.
As a forward, as a forward as well, he's probably thinking, why has Virgil not been dropped?
Uh-huh.
Why? That's, in his view, he's thinking, 1 minute.
Well, he might be next. Can't drop everyone, can you?
No, of course not. However, he going off the type of player Mo Salah is, and these strikers are selfish. They generally are. They always want it for themselves.
Easy.
It's kind of they are. They pretty much are.
I know we are. Enough about you. How good do I look?
But exactly. However, he's just looking at, like, you could generally drop anyone. But the difference, I could probably answer my own question for me though. The difference is the way Virgil reacts in the media, how his presence, the way he speaks to people is very different, isn't it? He's always welcome to talking to people. Well, like you said there, Rebecca, Mo Salah's not spoken to the media for, a number of times for many, many years. So that's probably, to answer my own question, that's the reason why he's been dropped.
Chelsea reject was way too harsh for me. Can I
Well,
can I just can I
Jamie Carragher said before he came to Liverpool, he was only known as a failure at Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take that right now, and you guys can add into this and tell me if I'm completely off my rocker. That is taking a personal shot. I actually believe Jamie had some real good points in there. I kind of agree with him that when he does speak to the media, it is simply about putting pressure on the club and taking pressure away from Salah. And it's strictly based on a personal level. I don't find a ton of leadership when he speaks. I don't. I find leadership when Virgil van Dijk does, even though Virgil van Dijk this year, his leadership, you could argue questionable, but that's Liverpool in general. Everyone at Liverpool has been questionable this season. The Chelsea reject to me, I'm like, hang on a minute. So Kevin De Bruyne was a Chelsea reject then? Is that how we're going with this? You know what I'm saying? Reject's a little strong for me. I may be speaking out. I could be missing the beat here, but you guys tell me. It just that seems to me, and it is, I don't care how you slice it, Jamie being too personal versus just being analytical of the situation.
He would say he's being factual. He would say that before he came to Liverpool, he was a failure at Chelsea. I mean, he was at Roma as well, wasn't he? And he had already played international football, so that, you know, you could go back with that. But I think I just want to finish on this one, guys, because maybe we could do a whole podcast on this. Yeah. 2 questions, yes or no. Let's be absolutely crystal clear. Taylor, will we see him in a Liverpool shirt again? Yes or no?
My gut says yes. My brain says no. I'm going to stay with no.
Theo, yes or no in a Liverpool shirt again?
I think we will, yes.
Wow, that's really surprising.
It's the first time we disagree, Taylor.
Theo,
pretty much.
Yes or no, will his legacy be damaged by this, yes or no?
I don't think so. No, I really don't think it will be. I think in time things will, it will die off in a few years. No, there you go.
Okay, Taylor?
Yes, for the Liverpool diehard supporter, they'll never forget it. For the Liverpool global fan, no, because I think they'll remember the good times and what he did. I believe that person at Anfield that lives and dies and everyone in Liverpool, I think this will be brought up for the rest of his life if he never plays again. But Theo's correct. If he plays again, Rebecca, he's got a great opportunity there to change that exit. And that's why the first word I came up with was disappointing, because it should not, and I hope it doesn't. But I'm not going to tell that supporter at Anfield what to feel if this was the last time they ever see him.
Yeah, I just don't think, like you said, this story's finished. So it's difficult, actually. It's unfair of me to ask you that question, because the legacy question, because we can't judge it yet, because I don't think this is finished. All right, chaps, the other big story in town, which actually we were going to lead with today, but you can't not lead with the Mo Salah story. I know, well, it's just more juicy, isn't it? Let's be honest. Because Messi wins trophies every flipping month, it feels like. And that is that Inter Miami beat Vancouver Whitecaps by 3-1. You were there, Taylor. You were working. You were co-commentating in the MLS Cup final at the weekend. It was Messi's day in the end. It was David Beckham's day. And it was the Super Club Inter Miami's day. Talk us through your day.
Vancouver had an opportunity at 1-1 to flip the game on its head. Sabi hits the ball with his left foot. It hits the inside of the right post, hits the inside of the left post, comes out, hits the Miami defender. Sabi hits it again, Theo and Rebecca, and hits the outside of the post and doesn't score.
Oh, my God.
If that goes in, we are talking about Vancouver being MLS Cup champions because they were the better team. They were the better team up until that point. And then Messi turns the game very quickly. DePaul scores, and it's great. But I want to talk about the human element because I think this is going to resonate with both of you. I will tell my grandkids the story of watching 3 best friends come together and get to write their own script in a way that very few people, not athletes, people get to do so in their life. Theo and Rebecca, Sergio Busquets had the worst game he's ever had as a pro. His legs were so heavy. His heart had to be so heavy. Coming into that game, knowing that this is the last time you're going to play, I don't know how he did it, knowing it's a cup final. But for him, the last time he's ever going to walk across that line, the last time he's ever. So Rebecca and Theo, it was the most amazing emotional part because I have been there all along the way, and he's been really good. And yet that game, he was terrible. He lost the ball every time, every moment. But the storybook ending is David Beckham in 2011 was given opportunity to buy the Miami franchise. He's been offered multiple times to get out, and he said no. And now they're going to open up their $1 billion stadium next year with a trophy and with a star above their crest. Messi delivered again, MVP, 2 assists. It was something else.
Taylor, when you heard about Beckham coming to the MLS, first as a player, I'll answer first as a player, actually, and then being owner, what was your first impressions of that? What was your first thoughts of what's this guy doing? What do you remember of that? I know it was a while ago, but...
Well, it was 2007, and actually, Theo, it was his third game with the Galaxy he was supposed to play, but he hurt his ankle really bad, if I'm not mistaken, on national team duty with England and came back, and then it didn't really get off. So he flew to Boston. We sold out Gillette Stadium, 50-some-odd thousand. And I just remember thinking, for all of us that had been in the league and seen it, Theo, my first thought was, does he know what he's getting into? And what impressed me about him was he immediately realized, while we may not have on each team 25 full internationals, and for the listeners at home, we're talking 2007, right? So David Beckham was the first player that changed the salary cap structure and all of that. And he recognized very quickly it's not going to be as easy as he thought. It's going to be similar to a championship style where it's high-paced, it's played in transition, the game's there. So my first thought was he doesn't know what he's getting into. Theo, that was 2007. He didn't win his first MLS Cup to 2011. Yeah. And I asked David, I'm so glad you asked this because I think our listeners will appreciate this. I said, David, what was the first thing you said to Lionel Messi when he signed? And he said, it's not what you think it is. It's not what everyone in Europe says it is. It's different. So Leo said, I've already heard and I'll be prepared. 6 a.m. next morning, he's in the weight room and he's opening this. So I think David Beckham's experience helped Leo say, oh, okay, this league's going to be different. It's going to be it. And Rebecca's seen multiple games. It's that kind of league where everyone's kind of the same because you can't spend way more money than everybody else. So, yeah, that's why I think it's quite an accomplishment that in less than 3 full seasons, he wins an MLS Cup, he's won a Supporter Shield, and he's won Leagues Cup. He's won 3 trophies in less than 2.5 years.
But Taylor, are they the same now? Have we got on our hands a super club?
Yes, and they're going to have to make a decision. I would be shocked if Suarez is back because this was a real humbling experience. Look, we're just talking about Mo Salah. Now, Suarez, self-inflicted with his stuff on and off the field, suspensions and all that. I don't think he thought he was never going to play in the playoffs and not start and not play an MLS Cup final, but they were better without him. This is different. This is different, Rebecca. They announced after the game that they want to win the Champions League in North America. It's as if it never ended. So I think you're going to see 2 or 3 different players come in. I think Major League Soccer is going to adjust the salary cap again, because I think all the owners have seen the potential of what this should be and what it can be. Rebecca, 100%, this is going to be a different club.
Because I think, Theo, I don't know about you, but I wonder whether Inter Miami might be, and their success, their real success, not the last few years where they were sort of flirting with success, but now they've had real silverware success. I wonder whether that might attract a few players from England a few years earlier to Major League Soccer, to Inter Miami, and then, of course, by proxy to other clubs as well. But I don't know, I just get the sense this could be a bit of a line in the sand, Theo. What do you think? Because it's blooming attractive, isn't it, Inter Miami?
Yeah, no, it's different, isn't it? When you look at like some managers like your Frank Lampards, your Steven Gerrards, your Wayne Rooney's, the kind of energy they can bring to a club, but also the players that they can attract. but it can go against them at times because of that lack of experience. But what Taylor's saying there, with the experience David Beckham has, the way he's just really monitored the whole situation from from top to bottom, just shows that he's completely doing it the right way, and it is very attractive. And it wouldn't surprise me now with many Premier League players coming across the sea. I do feel as well you get a chance to play with Lionel Messi as well.
You want to know the biggest name I heard during the Club World Cup?
Go on, I want to hear. Go on.
Mohamed Salah.
Oh, wow. Really? I've not heard that.
There we go.
Mo in Miami, let's go.
That was the first name during the Club World Cup, Rebecca, first name. And then naturally, you hear what Saudi Arabia, because he really is for that league.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So they would probably pay an arm and a leg. But I know for a fact there were 3 MLS owners that's asked what the fee was, asked what the number was, and they got a phone call back. When you get a phone call back, you guys know this better than anyone. Obviously, they want to hear it.
That's interesting. And to add to what I said about a line in the sand, you've got a new stadium, you've got a successful club, you've got a David Beckham style figure, you've got Lionel Messi, you've got a great place to live.
Yeah.
You've got a growing league, you've got a World Cup just finishing. This is talking about whenever the players arrive. Like, you've got a lot going on.
New York City Football Club, $1 billion stadium, downtown New York, opens January 1, 2027.
This is it. I think this could be them winning MLS Cup with Messi could be the line in the sand they've been looking for a long time. It's almost like we almost knew that would be the case, and actually, I think it might be. I think it actually might be.
Plus, as well, Rebecca, some players might actually they'll look really good in pink. They would.
It's such a pretty kit. No, it's a great point. No, it's a great point by you. It's a great kit. They all look really pretty. I like
pink. Pink's one of my
I look
good in
pink.
It's underused on men. It is underused.
You look good
it's
in
anything, a proper
Taylor.
pink, too. It's not like that washed out red. It's a proper pink.
It's not a blush. It's not magenta. Yes. It's absolute powder baby pink, but with some strength
it looks
to it.
great.
I know. Absolutely love it. We're going to get on to a couple of other topics, but it is time for Player of the Week. So I hope you've got your players ready. The scores are 2-2 between you guys. You nominate, for anyone who hasn't heard this, you nominate your Player of the Week. You get about 30 to 45 seconds to make your case, and I get to choose the winner. That is my right. Taylor, you're going to go first this week, because I've forgotten who went first last week, quite frankly. So, in 3, 2, 1, Player of the Week, go.
Sergio Alba. I'm taking half of Jordi Alba and I'm taking half of Sergio Busquets.
For a quick second, I was like, he's got it wrong.
You're like, I got it wrong. I will tell you this. I've never seen 2 players thrive in being on the outside versus being the star, relishing in the moment that their star player, Lionel Messi, enjoys. I've never seen families celebrate each other's success in the way those 3 have celebrated each other. And I don't care if I win Player of the Week. This is my public forum to say thank you for showing what true teamwork is, true competitiveness. You won everything and you showed up in Major League Soccer in Miami and still tried to win everything and tried to beat everyone's brains off. So Sergio Alba is my Player of the Week.
Great guy, Sergio Alba. By the way, just quickly before we get to Theo, I have a question for you, Taylor, because you're in and around this. Since they won MLS Cup, all I've seen is videos of the whole squad having these insane parties, and they're doing the conga, and then little old Lionel Messi is just like not bothered. Is that the way he is? He just would rather be anywhere but at a party.
Yes. The best is Theo, the party. What Rebecca's talking about, there's they're doing the train and Beckham's in front of the camera and Sergio Busquets and Leo does this. While walking, not holding on to anyone.
Yes! And there's another one. I've seen a couple of others where they're all dancing. Yes. He just sits standing there with a drink. Like, he just looks like he just would rather be anywhere else. And I
actually think he's in heaven. I think he's in heaven. But that's just who he is.
Really? Just but the way,
I mean, he was on the field getting the trophy and medals, and he was yelling at his kids. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I loved everything about it.
He's a normal bloke, isn't he?
He's normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, Theo, your player. Oh, well, you know what I mean. In like a genius, abnormal, otherworldly, normal bloke way. 3, 2, 1, Theo.
I'm going to go for Drewsbury Hall, and the reason why I'm going for him,
Okay.
I think he's been a player that since his move from, he helped Leicester obviously get to the Premier League, got his big move to Chelsea, helped them win the Club World Cup, but not just that, I always feel like you move from a big club to another big club, Everton Football Club, he's actually bedded into the club fantastically well, he's scored a lot of goals this year, he's contributed to them being, I think, 6th in the league at this moment in time. I think he's got a good shout to potentially be to get into the England squad with his performances going under the radar, particularly I think the way he scores his goals, his elegance on the ball at left foot, and left foot players always look a little bit better for me. So Drewsbury Hall for me has been absolutely exceptional this year.
Perfect.
Surprised he's not had a call-up yet, actually.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think, you know what I think happened as well? I think Jack Grealish took so much of the attention the first couple of months of the season, and he's such a steady Eddie, but with such sort of... that underplays him.
I was going to say that. I needed 5 more seconds though.
Yeah, so, that's fine. I'll take it for you because I've clearly got my own 45 seconds going on here. All right, chaps. I mean,
they're both good, eh? They're both good,
yeah,
actually.
I mean,
they're both undersung. The irony
Yes.
is that we both chose that. That's weird. That's really messed up.
There really isn't a world in which Kiernan Dewsbury Hall beats Sergio Alba. There just isn't a world in which that happens.
I know.
There just isn't. So I'm sorry, Theo. It's an excellent try. Taylor wins Player of the Week. By the way, Everton have dropped down a place, I should say, in the table because Manchester United beat Wolves by 4-1. The full-time whistle, and that game's just gone. So actually, Everton go down to 7th. Perhaps our producer could let me know actually where Manchester United are, because I'm a little bit concerned about Crystal Palace's top 4 situation, because we did finish the weekend in the top 4. Manchester United are 6th, so Crystal Palace are very much still in that top 4, and that's all we care about. Okay, picks of the week, guys. I don't want to talk about the table. It's starting to get increasingly irrelevant, is what I would say to you.
Theo got MLS Cup right after I gave a score, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to do 3-1.
I know, he did. Theo, that's really where you made your money this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to go through that. We don't need to dwell on any of that.
You went for Salah, didn't you, as well?
I mean, I did go for Mo Salah. I don't quite know what I was thinking about there, but I did
I actually think we should give her 5 points just because that's amazing. Like, he didn't even do that. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's another 5. So that's
plus when you go to the Winter Olympics, Rebecca, we're going to change these table standings anyways.
That's correct.
Right, chaps, we've got Saturday, Chelsea against Everton, the Kiernan Dewsbury Hall derby, they're calling it. 10 Eastern, 3 p.m. UK. Taylor, Chelsea Everton. What do you think? I'll have a goal scorer and a score.
This is literally 2 podcasts after I'm sitting there pontificating about Chelsea having a run at the title, and then didn't they lose?
They drew to Bournemouth. They lost against Leeds in midweek.
Yeah, and you're like, really, dude? Like, come on.
It's silly. I know.
They always have that in them. Those results.
They do,
Chelsea
and
do.
credit to you. You said that when I said it. I'm going to take a draw. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm going to take a draw.
Can we have a goal scorer?
I'll take 1-1, and I'll take... Caicedo's out still, right, with suspension, or no?
No, I don't think so. You know who's playing for Chelsea? It's actually literally impossible to pick a Chelsea player. You're going to have to go for an Everton player, because you know that one to 11.
Yeah, I'll take Grealish.
Okay, so Grealish. All right, so what are you thinking, Theo?
I'm thinking 1-0 as well. I generally am. I'll go Tarkowski.
You know what drives me freaking nuts? I can't gain, Rebecca, we can't gain any ground if we go first. Rebecca, change the effing rules. Make Theo go first so we can catch them.
Taylor, I'm not trying to gain ground, all right? I'm just trying not to get relegated, like literally today. So Chelsea, Everton, I'm going to go, I'm just going to copy Theo. I'm going 1-1, but I'm going to try and get my points. I think, God bless him, Tierno Barry, at the 17th attempt at the weekend, got his goal off a shin or a buttock. I don't know where it came off. I don't care.
Goal's a goal.
Bless his heart. And I'm going to say he's going to get 2 in 2, because that, my friends, is football. You don't score in 17 games, and then you get 2 flipping goals in 2 games. Okay, Sunday the 14th of December, that's this coming Sunday. Crystal Palace in 4th, taking on Manchester City in 2nd. It's a 9 a.m. Eastern kickoff on Sunday morning, Theo. Palace City. That is a hard one to call, may I just say. No?
It is, isn't it? No, it is.
Hello? Hello?
It is, sorry, I'm still here. I'm going... Sorry. I can't have the cost now. Right, I will go for a... That is tricky, isn't it? I'll go 2-1 Man City.
Goal scorer?
Sorry, Rebecca. I just don't need that. Haaland.
Seriously,
okay.
cannot stand this guy.
Taylor?
Oh my God, I literally wanted 2-1.
It might be 2-1 Palace, though. I was a bit torn. I didn't quite know.
Oh, yeah. Try to egg me on so you have a 90-point lead.
They're fourth.
Yeah, they are fourth.
They also have to play Shelbourne in Ireland on Thursday. Big game.
Big game, big night out for Palace. Could be 5-0 Man City in Dublin.
Yeah, I'm going to take 3-1 City Holland.
Okay, well, I'm obviously not going to do any of the sort. I'm going to do 2-0.
Naturally.
I'm
Palace.
going to do 2-1 Palace.
Yes,
I love
And
That's okay.
I think Nketiah might be starting a little bit of a streak. Nketiah. And the last one, chaps, is the Tyne-Wear derby. The first one since, I think I'm right in saying, 2016. Sunderland, Newcastle. Did you know it's a Tyne-Wear derby, even though it's actually Weir versus Tyne when it's at Sunderland, but we still have to call it the Tyne-Wear. I have gone back and forth with a lot of people in the game this week. I am told it is a Tyne-Wear derby. Doesn't matter where it's being played. What is the score going to be? Taylor, Twelman. It's at 2 p.m. UK, which is 9 a.m. Eastern. Sunday.
I'm going to take Newcastle.
Score.
I don't love it, but I am going to take them. I'm going to go 2-1. And I'll take the German Voltemada.
Okay. What a player he is, by the way. Okay.
I know. I just
love it.
just great hair.
Yeah, great moustache.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
It's got a 0-0 all over it, isn't it, I think?
It does.
Oh, I think it might have a 0-0.
No.
It can't have 0-0. Do you know, I'll go...
If you do 0-0, you can't do a goal scorer, so you're denying yourself
Exactly.
points.
You're right, but I can afford
But
to.
do it. Why don't you just do it?
That, can't I?
Can afford to. You know what? Cut his mic. That's ridiculous.
I know.
I can afford to.
Also, we've literally spent longer on picks of the week than we have on Mo Salah.
1-0.
Give me a goal scorer.
I'm going to go for Anthony Gordon. 1-0.
Oh, I was going to go for that. Listeners, it's as though like the guys haven't seen what these games are before. They take so blooming long.
So,
I'm going to
I was
go...
the quickest player, but I'm so slow here. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. I'm also going to go Anthony Gordon because I did think of that before you. Before we go, we have our question of the week, which comes from Yaz in Miami, Florida, talking to Miami. Do Aston Villa have a place in this title race? Theo.
I can't hear you, Rebecca. Can't hear you. I was so gutted, by the way.
Oh my God, I thought he genuinely... There's a good actor there. I thought he genuinely could.
It was one of the one games I watched with my son on the TV. We put it on, and we were about to go get the Christmas tree. We had to get a Christmas tree. When I watched the game, last minute, and I thought, we both just sunk to the sofa and like, all right, let's go get our Christmas tree. Right, I do. I think as well, if you lose that many games,
Really?
and yeah, I do. No, yeah, absolutely. They took a while to get going.
I think Yaz means over the course of the season. Do you think they will be in this title race over the course of this season?
I do.
Where are they right
Actually
now?
do.
Just fill me in.
They're third. They're 3 points behind Arsenal,
Okay.
and they've won 9 of their last 10 games, Taylor Twelman.
And that's what it is for me. When you started off poorly as well, they've won 9 out of 10.
No win in 5, 9 wins out of 10.
They can do that again and again. And Ollie Watkins isn't playing at this stature at this moment in time as well. When he does...
But Theo, Rebecca, how long can they do 9 out of 10 for?
I know. That's the question.
Arsenal can. Yeah, they slipped up. They beat Arsenal. I know everyone's going to listen to this and hit me up on social media. I get it. I get all that. Arsenal's roster, Arsenal's entire setup can withstand that loss against Villa. I don't know if Villa can do 9 out of 10 form until, what are we doing this on December 8th or 9th? I'm going to say no.
We disagree again there, Taylor. Goodness me.
Oh, I think I agree with Taylor. I really want them to be in it, don't get me wrong. And I think Aston Villa
Me
might
too.
be one of... I think actually, you know what about Aston Villa? Here's my little theory. Everyone loves Aston Villa, except Birmingham fans. But everyone loves Aston Villa. Like, everyone I speak to, we had Lee Dixon in the studio the weekend. Robbie Mustoe loves Aston Villa. Lee Dixon's like, I love Aston Villa. I just love the stadium. I love the heritage. I love Unai Emery. I love the players. I love the fans. I love the Holt End. I love the atmosphere. Like, I used to love going to Aston Villa as a reporter. That was one of my favourite places. Players always tell me, you tell me, Theo, it's a great place to play football, Villa Park, especially when it's bouncing. And I just think, like, wouldn't it be so great if they were still there in May? Having said all that, I don't think they will be, because as annoying as Manchester City are, in that, you know, they win everything. City fans, don't jump down my throat. It's just because you win everything. I don't think you've gone away, because annoying teams don't go away. And actually, Phil Foden, Ryan Cherky, I mean, hello, they are looking ominous again. So I still think City are the biggest challengers. I don't think Aston Villa are in the title race long term, as much as I wish they were. And then next week, we'll be asking, are Crystal Palace in the title race? Gentlemen, thank you so much for this edition of It's Called Soccer. We will see you next week. And don't forget, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you download the show, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, like, comment, do all the things, review, refer if you want. We'll be back next Tuesday. Bye, boys.
See ya.
Bye.